What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Jirard the Completionist has finally broken his silence regarding the Open Hand Foundation, his involvement with it, his lies that he's told everyone, and then turns the conversation to threatening YouTubers for bringing attention to the situation, and it gets really odd. I'm gonna go through this as best I can, but I gotta tell you guys, the beginning of the video was like a woe is me, feel bad for me, I'm sorry. And then he gets right into going on the offensive, specifically against Carl Jobs and Muda from Some Ordinary Gamers for their coverage of this situation, for bringing attention to it. And doing that is so beyond insane to me that I don't even know what to say. JT. Subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com. I'll put this article in the description below going through Jirard the Completionist's response regarding the allegations of potential fraud or misconduct regarding the Open Hand Foundation. But in this video, let's talk about my feelings and just how utterly insane his video takes a turn. Jirard lied to everyone regarding raising funds for the charity and how they directly impact something right away, and how everything they were doing was above board, and that the UCSF was involved and they had a lie from this guy that was fired. That all that stuff, doesn't even talk about it. He just says, yeah, I was wrong, and kind of brushes that away like I shouldn't have done that. But anyways, let's focus on these guys that told lies about me. It's like, no, bro. Everything you did raised eyebrows, raised questions, brought up even more questions that people weren't asking because of all the suspicious stuff surrounding this. Every time someone looked into something, it seemed to be more and more suspicious. And while Jirard does go into talking about the receipts and throwing a lot of numbers at everyone's faces and doesn't really back it up with too much paperwork, you just kind of take his word for it. Okay, it matters to the IRS, and if all that checks out with them, great, I'm happy for you. But right now, it's just your word.
Saying that we are fraudsters, that what we are doing is illegal and constitutes charity fraud, that we are using my dead mother's name to potentially embezzle money and steal is categorically false. I should have been more transparent about the money not being donated, and that's on me.
I guess right now you're just trying to save your reputation from being completely and utterly destroyed. And for me, I go back to the precipice. The initial onslaught of all of this was your lie of how the ball got rolling down that hill and how you didn't take any accountability for that whatsoever until now in this video, and then going straight from that to going on the offensive against Carl and Muda for simply drawing attention to it, doing what they always do as YouTubers. And I need to stand with them, regardless of if they're wrong or right with what they talked about. All they did was show facts and talk about that and give their spin and their feelings about it, which is ultimately the basis of what YouTube is all about. And you, Jirard, should know that as well as anybody.
Furthermore, my family and I are in serious conversations with our legal teams regarding next steps, as the allegations that have been made with complete disregard for the truth of the matter.
And to take this offensive, aggressive approach against people that were simply drawing attention to suspicious activity is so beyond unbelievable that it makes me wonder, what is possibly hiding there? Why would you take that approach? It's like, if you have all the paperwork to back you up, everything there, everything checks out, there's nothing suspect except for all the lies that you told at the beginning, okay. Threatening YouTubers with defamation, potential lawsuits because they're talking about a potential situation and exposing potential issues with it is so bonkers. I can't even fathom that. What world are we living in where people aren't even allowed to research and ask questions? You're trying to silence and shut them down. And honestly, nothing you said in your video proved anything they said wrong. It was just literally your word against their word. And while, yes, I understand you care about your reputation and you want to protect that, you put a lot of work and time into that, the fact that you automatically go on the offense instead of here's the situation. I screwed up at the beginning, and just waiting this long. You waited this long to say anything, and instead of apologizing and moving on from it and saying, we welcome, the tax audit thing, which you do at the end of this, which is kind of funny. I'll get to that in a second. But instead of saying, hey, I screwed up. I shouldn't have lied to everyone, raising nearly $1 million and lied about the funds not going anywhere, and the suspicious activity of raising funds, telling people that it's directly impacting stuff when it's not.
It's obviously a very important cause. I could talk today, near and dear to my heart. I was 10 years old when my mom got dementia, and it's been a journey for me and my family. And so this cause is obviously very personal, and that's why we're here today. Bits, donations, subs, buy the shirt, buy the coin, buy indie games, all that stuff. All of it is going to the benefit of helping others for this charity event.
Like, why was it so hard to just say, we're raising the funds and it's going to this account, and when we get enough money, we're going to do a massive donation? Like, why can't you just tell people that? Instead, you misled them intentionally, trying to get as much money as possible for whatever reason. If we are to believe you that you just didn't want to tell the truth of why you were raising the money, okay, but you were also withdrawing money, your foundation, the people involved with it, withdrawing money annually from it, taking payments from it into the tens of thousands of dollars taken out of this account every year without a dollar, without a penny being donated. And they draw attention to it, and boom, magically, you donate something. Would you look at that? How amazing that is. Thank God they brought attention to this, and you're threatening them.
Furthermore, my family and I are in serious conversations with our legal teams regarding next steps, as the allegations that have been made with complete disregard for the truth of the matter.
Does anyone else see this insane twisted logic trying to make sense of a pretzel with the logic that you're making? Nothing makes sense. You're attacking Muda, you're attacking Carl, but yet you admit fault, you admit that you lied, you admit that the funds should have been spent earlier, you admit that all this pressure came on you, and then you donated the funds, but yet then you're going after Muda and Carl anyways. And then at the end, you say, we welcome an audit, and that they told everyone to come at me with this audit and come at our foundation with this audit, and that's defamation. It's like, no, they're doing their due diligence. They think it's suspicious. They're telling people that they should probably investigate it. If they have concerns about it, they should probably alert the authorities. Nothing's wrong with doing that. If you legitimately feel that there's an issue, then you're allowed to say that to your audience. I didn't see anything wrong with what they were doing the entire time. All they did was focus on the facts, what was publicly available, and make observations based off of that. And that's literally all I was doing too. And it's like, this is why I take it so personal, because it's like, I'm not a big channel like Carl or Muda, so you don't mention me in your video. You don't mention, a lawsuit against me or threaten me with anything. But it's like, if my channel got big enough, would you come after me too for talking about this situation? Because it's a story, potentially the biggest story of 2023, and all you have to say for it is, yeah, I lied to people, and then when it got called out and we got caught, we paid the money to a charity, and then I'm threatening the people that called me out. And then I say the IRS is coming and I welcome the audit. I don't know. I just, the trail of the logic, the map of your thought process with this video is so beyond bonkers to me that I just can't. Anytime that there's a concerning situation that happens on YouTube and the YouTuber that's involved that is on the defense automatically goes straight to defamation lawsuits, goes after attacking the YouTubers that are drawing this attention, don't worry about what Carl and Muda are saying. If you are innocent, beyond the lies that you already admitted to, if you're innocent of any complete nefarious wrongdoing and your charity is completely above board and there's no problems with it, don't worry about the YouTubers that are drawing attention to it. All you need to worry about is giving the information to the IRS, proving to everyone else that there's not an issue here. You're not going to jail like Carl Jobs thought your whole family was going to jail. You don't have to worry about what other people say about you if you can prove your own innocence in the eyes of the law. YouTubers talking about stuff should be the least of your concerns right now. But it goes to show Jirard is more focused on his own reputation than he is about doing the right thing and taking the right steps. And while I scroll through his video and the initial, the fanboys, all the people with the bell hit for it and their thoughts on it, the initial sentiment for all of this is glad to see this, man. This is why we don't jump to conclusions. Thank you for making this video. I was admittedly disheartened, but this proves it wrong. I wish you the best. Like, these are all the longtime fans of Jirard that are just like, oh, thank God he said something. It's like, that doesn't prove anything at all. And when you go on the offense to threaten other YouTubers, it speaks volumes for where your intentions really are. And while, like I said, from the get-go, I hope you're innocent. I hope this is all above board. I hope that you're not completely screwed from all of this. The way you approach this is just, it raises more questions than gives answers. And at the end with the whole, we welcome the IRS for an audit that they know they're going to get because of all the people reporting it. If you got nothing to hide, then you got nothing to worry about. If you do have something to hide, then you should probably be freaking out right now because they're going to see everything if they open up a full audit. And based off of what you said of the amount of inquiries that were probably being sent, most likely it's going to be a very serious audit, and you should have all your ducks in a row for that.
We do not have anything to hide, and due to the overwhelming amount of people who have been instructed to file complaints to the IRS and Department of Justice, we understand an audit may be coming, and we welcome it.
But I can't help but think of when this happened to another YouTuber and the result of that. Let's hope you're able to blaze your own path of resurrection and success and completely leave this in the dust. But, I mean, with everything on the table, all the evidence there, no matter what you said about the pandemic, the excuses, the money that supposedly was accounted for, even though it didn't add up when people ran the numbers, whatever. If you're able to prove it in the eyes of the law and you're innocent, good for you, bro. Move on with your life. But if that's not the case, then you got a lot more to worry about than just YouTubers drawing attention to it. Those are my thoughts on Jirard's My Response YouTube video. And like I said, if you want more information, I will have this article posted on smashjt.com right after I publish this video. It'll be linked in the description below. And yeah, this is definitely nowhere close to being over. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, you stay smashing.
I recognize and take accountability for all of my actions.
Smash,